Okay, we're looking at quadratic equations, part 2. Okay, so in part 1 we looked at simplest examples where it was all pluses. So for example, x squared plus 7x plus 12. Two numbers that multiply give 12, add together give 7, was 3 and 4, x plus 3, x plus 4. Then looked at examples which involved a negative at the end. So for example, x squared plus 5x minus 14. Okay, so the number at the end was negative. The signs needed to be different. So at that point, numbers that multiply to give 14, 1 and 14, 2 and 7. And then you had to identify the pair that would add together to give 5. So that would be plus 7 and minus 2. Okay, so that's ones that we've looked at. We've looked at ones involving a plus and a plus and a plus and a minus. We're now going to look at ones involving a minus and a plus. So let's take down example 3. Okay, so let's go for x squared minus 9x plus 20. Okay, now this time we're looking for two numbers that multiply together to give plus 20 and add together to give minus 9. So two numbers that multiply together to give plus 20 and add together to give minus 9. Now, the product, that's the result of multiplying, is 20. It's a positive result. Now, a positive result can only ever come from two pluses or two minuses. Okay, because if you've got a plus and a minus and you multiply them together, you always get a minus. But if you get a plus and a plus and you multiply them together, you've got a plus, and if you get a minus times a minus and you multiply them together, you'll still get a plus. Okay, so what we know there is for these ones, to multiply together to give plus 20, that means that the signs would need to be not different, but definitely the same. So the same can mean two things. It can mean two pluses or it can mean two minuses. Now, if you see that in the middle you've got minus 9, it only makes sense then that it will have to be two negatives. Alright, so I'm going to mark that at the side that it's two negatives that I'm looking for. So just let's go over why that is again. So we need two numbers that multiply give plus 20. Now, if you multiply a plus and a minus together, you get a negative result, which obviously plus 20 isn't. So what we know is that if we multiply together to get two numbers together to give a positive result, that means the two numbers are either two pluses or two minuses. But if they need to add together to give minus 9, then that's impossible that it would be two pluses. It needs to be two minuses. So it's definitely two minuses. And then let's just think about numbers that multiply give 20, 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. Now, which pair of these can I add together to give minus 9? Well, it's not that and it's not that, but I can do it with 4 and 5. It would be minus 4, minus 5. So it's x minus 4 and x minus 5. Let's take down example 2. X squared minus 8x plus 15, x squared minus 8x plus 15. Okay, so the result of multiplying is a positive result. So two numbers that multiply give plus 15, add together to give minus 8. So what do I know about the signs? Well, since it's a positive result, two numbers that multiply give plus 15, the signs must be the same. But if there's a minus in the middle, it would need to be two negatives. Now at that point, let's think about numbers that multiply give 1 and 15. There's only two pairs, 1 and 15, 3 and 5. Which one can I use to add together to give minus 8? Well, it's definitely going to be 3 and 5 minus 3, minus 5. Minus 3 times minus 5 is plus 15, and minus 3 minus 5 is minus 8x minus 3, x minus 5, example 3. Okay, example 3, x squared minus 9x plus 14. Okay, so again, I've got two numbers that multiply together to give a positive result, which means the signs need to be the same. And to get minus 9 in the middle, it will need to be two negatives. Okay, so two numbers that multiply give 14, 1, 14, 2 and 7. Now, what one's going to give me minus 9 in the middle? It would need to be 2 and 7, minus 2, minus 7, x minus 2, x minus 7. Okay, example 4. x squared minus 10x plus 16. Two numbers that multiply give plus 16, add together to give minus 10. So two numbers that multiply to give a positive result. Signs need to be the same, so it's either two pluses or it's two minuses. Okay, so to get minus 10 in the middle, I think we've established now it's definitely going to be two minuses. Okay, now numbers that multiply together to give 16, 1 is 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. Okay, which pair can I use to get minus 10 in the middle? It's no 1 and 16, it's no 4 and 4, it's 2 and 8. So it's going to be minus 2 and minus 8. Minus 2 times minus 8 is plus 16, and minus 2 and minus 8 is minus 10, example 5. Okay, x squared minus 11x plus 24. Okay, the product is positive, the result of multiplying gives me a positive result. Signs need to be the same, that's two pluses or two minuses, but it's a minus in the middle, so it would need to be two minuses. Okay, so numbers that multiply give 24 then. 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8. Okay, which pair can I use to get minus 11? It's fairly obvious that one, minus 3, minus 8. Minus 3 times minus 8 is plus 24. And minus 3 minus 8 is minus 11. Okay, so I'm going to throw down a few examples for you to try, then we're going to look at the next type of quadratic equations just briefly. Okay, let's try one more. Example 6. X squared minus 13x plus 36 equals 0. Okay, so the product is positive, so that means the signs must be the same. And there's a minus in the middle, so it needs to be two minuses. Okay, so combinations for 36, 1 times 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9. Okay, which pair can I use to add together to give minus 13? It's 4, 9, minus 4, minus 9. Okay, so x minus 4 bracket x minus 9 equals 0. That means x minus 4 is equal to 0, or x minus 9 is equal to 0. Bring them across, and that's x equals 4, and that's x equals 9. Let's try one more. Okay, example 7, let's go for x squared minus 10x plus 21 equals 0. Okay, so it will need to be two negatives. Signs are the same, that's because I've got a positive result here. Okay, two numbers that multiply give 21, 1 and 21, 3 and 7, and that's it. Which pair can I use to get minus 10? It's 3 and 7 minus 3 and minus 7, x minus 3, bracket x minus 7 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0, x minus 7 equals 0. Bring them across, change the sign, x is equal to 3, or x is equal to 7. Okay, so you're going to try these ones. Okay, 5 examples, and then after that, just continue with the video, because we're going to look at the next type just for a few examples. Okay, so we're going to now look at examples with a minus and a minus. So x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. Okay, so I'm looking this time for two numbers that will multiply to give minus 10 and add together to give minus 3. Now, since the product, the result of multiplying is minus, so two numbers that multiply give minus 10, that will come from the signs being different this time. Okay, so it's going to be plus or minus. Now, I then think about numbers that multiply give 10, 1 and 10, 2 and 5. Now, which pair can be used to add together to give minus 3 in the middle? Well, it's obviously 2 and 5. Now, just be careful. You need to ensure that when you put it into here, that it adds together not to give 3, but it adds together to give minus 3. So that would be plus 2 minus 5. 2 times minus 5 is minus 10, and 2 minus 5 is minus 3. So that's x plus 2 bracket x minus 5 equals 0. So that's x plus 2 equals 0, or x minus 5 equals 0. Bring them over, change our sign, x equals minus 2 and x equals 5, example 9. This time x squared minus 4x minus 21 equals 0. Okay, so again the product is negative. Two numbers that multiply give minus 21. So it's going to be a plus and a minus. Okay, so signs are different, plus or minus. Two numbers that multiply give 21, which pairs for 21, 1, 21, 3 and 7. Now, obviously the pair that will give me minus 4 will need to be the 3 and the 7, so it's going to be, let's make sure they go in to add together, give minus 4. So would it be plus 7 minus 3? No, it would be plus 3 minus 7. 3 times minus 7 is minus 21, and 3 minus 7 is minus 4. So it's going to be x plus 3 bracket x minus 7 equals 0. X plus 3 could be 0, x minus 7 could be 0. Bring them over, change the sign, x could be minus 3, x could be 7. Okay, example 10. X squared minus 5x minus 14 equals 0. Okay, so again, the product is negative, the signs will need to be different. And then combinations for 14, 1 times 14, 2 times 7. Which combination can I get to give minus 5? It'll be 2 and 7, but it needs to add together to give minus 5. So is it plus 7 minus 2? No, that'll be 5. It's plus 2 minus 7. X plus 2 bracket x minus 7 equals 0. X plus 2 could be 0, or x minus 7 could be 0. Bring them over, change the sign, x could be minus 2 and x could be 7. Okay, so just 3 examples this time. Have a go at these and we'll pick it up tomorrow.